Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a sweet and kind-hearted girl named Cinderella. She was known for her gentle nature and her love for animals. Cinderella lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters who were not as kind as she was. Cinderella's days were filled with chores and housework, but she never complained. She found joy in the simple things, like singing to the birds outside her window and dreaming of a better life. One day, an invitation arrived at the house. The royal palace was hosting a grand ball, and everyone in the kingdom was invited. Cinderella's stepsisters were overjoyed and immediately began preparing their gowns and jewelry. They insisted that Cinderella stay home to finish her chores. As Cinderella watched them leave for the ball, she felt a bit lonely, but didn't lose hope. Suddenly, a magical sparkle filled the room, and Cinderella's fairy godmother appeared. With a wave of her wand and a sprinkle of fairy dust, Cinderella's rags transformed into a beautiful gown, and her worn-out shoes turned into glass slippers. The fairy godmother reminded Cinderella that she must leave the palace by midnight. Cinderella arrived at the ball, and she looked so stunning that everyone was captivated by her beauty. The prince himself couldn't take his eyes off her. Cinderella danced and laughed, feeling like she was in a dream. As the night went on, Cinderella lost track of time. When the clock struck midnight, she hurriedly left the palace, leaving behind a glass slipper. The magical spell broke, and Cinderella found herself back in her simple clothes. The next day, the prince set out to find the mysterious girl who captured his heart. He went from house to house, asking young ladies to try on the glass slipper. When he arrived at Cinderella's house, her stepsisters tried their best to squeeze into the delicate shoe, but it was too small for them. Finally, it was Cinderella's turn. As she slipped her foot into the glass slipper, it fit perfectly. The prince was overjoyed, and he recognized her as the enchanting girl from the ball. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters were astonished. The prince, touched by Cinderella's kindness and grace, invited her to the palace, and they lived happily ever after. The moral of Cinderella's story is that kindness and goodness will always be rewarded. Cinderella's gentle nature and positive outlook on life not only won the heart of the prince, but also led her to a life of happiness and love. The story teaches us that no matter how tough life may seem, kindness and a hopeful heart can lead to magical outcomes.